All right, I'm going to make a short little video here for CT. So this is his 1600 I've been working on. It's a 74 millimeter crank with an 85.5 bore, which makes it a 1699. And I've got it all where it rotates nicely now. I had some issues with it. One side of the case wasn't finished inside, so the crank didn't have any in play. So I just got done getting that all straightened out, made sure I have in play with no shims in there, obviously. And we're getting ready to take this back apart now. And I have a webcam for this motor. And I don't think this is going to be any issue with this clearing because it's clearanced already. And we're going to put that in and make sure the cam's on the proper center line. So we'll degree the cam. It's not an adjustable gear, so we're just going to check it basically. I already cut the inside of the case for lifters, all that good stuff. We can take that apart, show you what we had to do in here real quick. It's not really tight. Like I said, it's just been mocked up. And put this one together a couple times now. So should go together really good. When we get it all ready here, my piston is 35 out of the hole, so I need to get some shims for underneath the cylinder to get the correct deck height. And we're going to put the compression ratio right about 9.2 to 9.2 was my target, which is a little higher than normal, but this car is not going to be driven all the time, and I think that'll be good for making some power for sure. Anyway, here's our crank assembly. Here's our case. This is the side that wasn't clearance. I had to do quite a bit of work in there. And then of course, you know, the tops where the rods hit the top of the case. This case wasn't, it's not a raised top or a solid back. It's just an aluminum replacement case. So, there you go. A few hours on that. I don't like the pickup tube location. It's not quite in the right spot, so I was going to put a sump on this motor anyway, so we'll probably weld the tube on that. And no real surprises here. Everything went together pretty good. Rods sound quite a bit better with a little bit of assembly lube. These don't have anything on them. They do have quite a bit of side plate to the crank, which you can't really adjust. If it's tight, you can adjust it. I wanted an H-beam rod, and I got these because it's what they had in stock, I think. But we made it work. Had to drill the flywheel to fit the crank. The holes weren't finished. Cylinder heads over here are ready to assemble. They need to be cleaned one more time. Here's our 501s. And these came out really nice. Kept the port sort of on the small side so we have plenty of airspeed. And it's going to be limited to probably 5,500 RPM. So you don't need a big, huge port. And we're going to keep the deck as tight as possible on this. Had to replace a couple guides in one of the heads. 2 intake guides. And we did a valve job, of course, and hours of port work. Got the floor lowered to the valve seat. And these are ready to go. I need a forged gland nut for the flywheel, 36 millimeter with a big washer. And What else do I need at the moment? I need that some spacers for the cylinders. I think we talked about that. Need the gland nut for the flywheel. And then I need some rocker arms and a set of push rods. I don't know if I have a set of cut-to-length push rods here or not, but we'll have to get those when we get it all bolted together and we start messing with the valve train, because I'm going to have to set the rocker arm geometry and all that good stuff, so we'll need that. Relatively small cam on this motor, with a webcam. There's the part number. Really good for you know, a little bit of head work. You want to get the compression above 8 with this cam, and works really well. I've been leaning more towards the webcams. They're a little more money, but they seem to you know, have really good results. I like the scat cams too. They're just limited on the grinds. So here's some of the specs. If you want to freeze that and look at it. And we'll check this with a degree wheel and see how close it is. But with webcam, it's usually really close. So. Anyway, we're going to go try to do it with a single spring on this motor. So this is the setup that I have. I might replace the spring. I'm not sure yet. I have to see what my install height comes out like and my spring pressure. But I do have a set of springs in stock. If those won't work, we have to clearance the bearings next for this motor. They're off by quite a bit. This is some of the stuff that you might have to do if you're building a motor nowadays. They're not even they're not too close anymore. I'll have to take that back bearing off, get the flywheel off, but you can see how much the hole's covered up there. The red dot represents the amount of hole that's closed. So we have to open that, make a line over to the channel so it can feed the back of the bearing to get oil to the crank. The rear bearing is even worse. The center bearing is not very good either. I'll show you that. Just in here for assembly purposes. Bearings fit nice in this case. Well, let's see if I can get this out. Get the camera rolling. There you go. That's that one there. It's pretty covered up too. And the rear, or the front, however you want to say it, is the same way. The only bearing that was good was this one, which is the not important one, but it's dead on. Anyway, that's what's going on with this one. There you go, CT. And sorry for the speech problem there. Had a little jaw surgery done. Waiting for some implants. You know, everything's on back order.